Hey Janet, how are you doing? The light's too bright. Uh, cause I'm using a light pencil. Let's see. So I'm doing my prompt for today from Wisptober. My daughter came up with some prompts. So my prompt is Amulet today. Which one? The the one I colored. That's not mine. That was a I won that on a coloring uh YouTube channel. I was just coloring it. Or are you talking about on Instagram? My husband was watching football, so I had the sound off for most of that stream. Yeah, the one that I was coloring. Yeah, that was this one that I was coloring. I gotta finish it too. This was from it's a coloring page I won on another YouTuber's it's a digital. My I think my granddaughter is out and about with her other grandparents today, so she hasn't been here to harass me. So I figured I'd do a stream real quick and do my prompt for today. Oh, let me see. So I can show you the ones so far for this month, so I can catch everybody up. So my first prompt was cinders, which was this volcano. There you go. And then the second prompt was a bell jar. So I drew this little creepy pumpkin monster inside of a bell jar. And then the third one was thorns. So I did a cactus. And then I drew both of these on the same day. But I don't know if you can see the birch. You got some birch right here, and then you got the forest in the background. And the prompt was forest. And I did this one, thinking of doing this one for thorns, doing a design on her neck. And then on the fifth, the prompt was potions. So I did different alcohols that I enjoy. Like I said, one man's potion, one man's poison is another man's potion, or something like that. I said. And then the sixth, the potion with the respiratory. Ugh, can't even talk today. Her, hey Mary. Her prompt was brew. So I did a little pot of witch's brew, just spilling everywhere. And then yesterday's prompt was divination. So I did like some tarot cards, tea bag, dominoes, and some bones. And then today's prompt is an amulet. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna do a little eye amulet. Oh, I spoke too soon. Sounds like my baby is here. And that was in my stream. Then I'll show you. I got the, yeah, you can come in. I got the Derwent Light Fast pencils. And so I did my swatch on those. And they're really, really creamy. And can get pretty dark. I still like the coloring book look of that's just how I grew up with the coloring book, doing it real lightly. And I remember my favorite, I still remember my favorite thing that I colored growing up. We had the Looney Tunes coloring book, and I had colored Petunia the pig, and I still to this day remember coloring that picture. So I didn't do a drawing yesterday in this one. I've been trying to do a drawing today, and I didn't do one yesterday. But the last one I did was this one. And then I was watching one of Brandywine Jones's videos on YouTube where he was doing eyes. So that's where those two eyes at the bottom came from that. And I was just playing around doing some little heads up here from different shapes, oblong circles and stuff. So I got to do a drawing in this one today. Probably later on the night before I go to bed. But yeah. Yeah, she's going to be bringing the baby in here in a minute. She hears me talking to y'all, so she didn't come in. So I'm just going to hurry up and do these little beads. And I'll just have to color this later. I just want to get the idea down. And yeah. But I've been crocheting, Mary. Well, sometimes I do crochet and knit. So this is a crochet hat I just did the other day, and I used they call it a coffee bean stitch, but we always just called it like a small puff stitch. And then I picked up the stitches and I did the brim and knit. I knit the brim so it'll have some snap back to it when it's washed and stuff. So I did that one, and I had a little bit of that gray yarn left, and then I had some other gray yarn. So then I'm doing a bigger beanie, and I crocheted the brim on this one. So this is a rib stitch with crochet, and then I use the bean stitch for this one too, because it's just such a very pretty texture stitch, and it's fast and it's easy. And right now I'm doing some decreases. So I made this one bigger because all my daughters except for one has dreadlocks, and that way it'll be big enough that they can put their hair up under the beanie. It'll be big enough to stretch out so they can put their hair under the beanie when it gets colder. So this one I'll probably finish it tonight or tomorrow morning. Depends on how I feel. So, but and then I gotta start spinning this fiber. I've spun 8 pounds and 13 ounces for the year, and my goal for this year was to try to spin 20 pounds, but I didn't realize I was gonna be spending so much time being grandma. And so I've already spun those samples I was talking about in my video the other day. I already spun those up. I don't know what I did with the drop spun. It's over here somewhere. Here it is. So this is the fiber from the sample they gave me, and it was a sample of Shropshire fiber, and I had never spun Shropshire before. It's a little hairy. I don't know if you guys can see. Come on. Okay, you can see like the little halo on the yarn. So it's a little hairy fiber. I would call this like a medium fiber. It depends on the person. You could. Oh yeah, I teach people how to drop spin all the time, Mary. I have bags of hand spun. I have tons of hand spun fiber, Janet. Here, I'll show you some of the stuff from this year. So this bag, this big bag here is just, this is the 8 pounds of fiber that I've spun up this year. I have, God knows how much I've given away, how much I've spun. I have some of those big, like 3-foot tall vacuum bags full of hand spun. So here's, I know the lighting in here because it was getting blown out, so I had cut the light off. There you can kind of see. Let me lift the light up. The color of that. So it's all right. Let's see. Nope, now it's in the camera's way. Okay. And I tag them so I'll know what it was. And this way I can also, like this one has already been washed, but I can, because I use the Sharpies on the labels, I can take and just attach this. This is landscaper's tape. So when I wash it, I don't have to worry about losing information or forgetting what it was, because sometimes I'll spend fibers that are similar in color. When I wash them, this way I mixed up, I know exactly what it was, how many yards it was before I washed it, all that. So this one right here was some Shetland fiber that I got from Hedgegrove Farms, and I spun it July of 2020, and I applied it September 2020. So this is some alpaca right here. It's a natural black alpaca, and then that's some more. That's some brown alpaca, and then this is some wool. This is Falkland that my husband, he dyed it, and then I spun it up. And I mostly do 3 plies unless I get an order from somebody that they want a 2 ply. And this is what I call a remnant skein, because it's a little bit of everything that I spun, what was left over on the bobbins. And then I always make a skein of yarn. And this makes really full, fun hats or shawls, or a small shawl, or a little neckerchief or something. And then sometimes I'll do a remnant skein on purpose, where I purposely take different fibers and I spin them up on a bobbin and then ply it. And that's what this one is. This one, the purple is bamboo silk, and the white is some it was some of the Merino X that I really liked. And then there's some of that beige alpaca, some dark brown alpaca. It's just a bunch of different colors of alpaca in there. So, but yeah, this is just part of my goal for this year. And believe me, even after I spend 20, I'm not going to get the 20 pounds, but I've done 8 pounds, which I think is a lot for this year. And so next year I'll give myself the goal of 20 pounds again. I use, because it's a natural fiber, I use the jacquard, I don't know how to say, if I'm saying it properly, acid dyes when I dye my fiber, because it's a protein-based fiber, so I want the dye to take well. So sometimes if I want it to be like a pastel look, I'll do what's called a dye sopper. That is where I dye something else to take up most of the dye, and then what's left in the water, so I'll get that light pastel color. Then I add the other fiber to that to soak up what's left up of that color, so I'll get a real light color. That way I'm not wasting the dye, and I exhaust all of the dye in the water. And then and sometimes what I'll do is I'll take some of the fiber and I'll just pull it apart in like 2 to 4 inch sections, and those will be my dye soppers, and I'll just drop it in the dye to soak up whatever's left. Like I've also experimented with Kool-Aid. I've experimented with Wilton's cake dyes. The thing about Wilton's cake dyes is that they will break, which means they will actually separate into their primary colors. So you can get, from one pot, you could get 2 or 3 different colors depending on how many colors was mixed for that particular cake dye. So I've gotten Wiltons, I've dyed with Wiltons, and I've ended up putting in a dark green, and I end up getting green, blue, and a little bit of a yellowish green from the same dye pot. So dyeing is fun. My husband likes doing it, and so we'll sometimes, like once a year almost, we'll have a dye day, and we'll dye some fiber up, and then when I get around to it, I'll spin it. All the yarn that's behind me is I don't know if it'll show up because I got the light off. Yeah, you can see it. All that all that fiber behind me in the bookcase, all that is fiber that my husband and I dyed. So, and I'll start spinning it once I reach my goal of well, just by the end of the year, I'll spin some more of it up here and there, but I want to spin up the Homestead Wool Farm first. Hey, Ashley, what's up? What's up? Guys, this is Mixed Plate from over on no, he doesn't knit or crochet, but he will pre-draft my fiber for me to spin while he's watching his football games and stuff. If sometimes if I have a fiber that just is kind of felty or is just clinging to itself, it wants to felt, it's a fiber that'll felt real easy, I'll give it to him and he'll pre-draft it for me, so that makes my life a little easier. So all I have to do is just go ahead and spin it. And Ashley is one of my knitting friends from here in Virginia, and she's one of my best customers too. So she apparently she likes my hand spun. But none of my children, I taught Marissa, I taught them, I taught Pudding, I taught them how to crochet, and all they would do was make a string, and then they were done with it. That was it for them. So no. Ashley dyes sock yarn. She also makes project bags, and she has several patterns over on Ravelry, a couple sock patterns, and yeah, so she's a very talented young lady as well. All right, Mary. I'm just pretty sporadic. Whenever I get a chance, when I don't have the baby, I try to pop on just to get update people on what's going on. I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out a better lighting situation, cause this is driving me nuts. It's like overhead light is blowing out everything. The ring light. I don't know. It's maybe it's because it's fall now, so that the room isn't. I don't have the natural light in here anymore. From before, like even during spring and summer, there's more natural light in here. And now that it's fall, the lighting has changed. We had such a good time, Ashley. It was good to get out of the house and come over, but you should have reminded me that it was Kimmy's birthday party. I'll have to pop your hand the next time I see you. Over at Baba, I will. I'll come over. What's the weather supposed to be like Saturday? But aren't the memory blankets like made with yarns from other projects? So you can say like, oh, this was from some socks I made for my grandma, or this is for some socks or a hat I made for my husband. Like, not necessarily just sock yarn, but yarns that you use to make projects for family members or friends, loved ones, weird folk. So you use the minis for that? Hmm. So I guess the next time we do a get together, I guess on Saturday, um, if Maddie comes, tell him to bring his drop spinner if he has one. I'll give him a spinning lesson. How old is your dog a lab, Janet? How old is he? Ah, he's 3. He's beautiful. Ashley has big dogs. She likes big dogs. This is strong. Ooh, that's a strong marker. Wow. Yeah, my coloring sucks. uh, all right. So, hmm. 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 Purple brown. Brown. Yeah, it's brown. This spray fixative that I have, it's a concentrate. So it's marked on the bottle in force. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But you need to mix 4 ounces of colorless alcohol, such as Everclear or vodka, with this fixative. Like when I start doing charcoals and pastels, soft pastels again, I needed some fixative. So that's what the Grey Goose is for. It's a little 50 milliliter bottle, gluten free. So I'm gonna mix that with the fixative. It's not for drinking. No, not for drinking. I know there's a lot of people out there who are having conniptions the fact that I'm going to use it to make some art supplies with it. I had people on my Facebook telling me, you could get some cheaper vodka from Costco and blah blah blah. Like I think he said it was a Costco brand. It's made by Grey Goose. One of my friends was telling me, like, don't be wasting your good stuff. Buy some cheap vodka. I'm not a vodka drinker unless we're gonna have some Crown Royal or something. So to me, it's not, that big of a deal to and there is my Wisptober prompt for today. And so I guess I can finish crocheting this hat and leave off of here so that I can get my grandbaby and go watch some videos, I guess, while I crochet. So thank you guys for coming by, hanging out with me for a little while. Here is my Wisptober prompt, my amulet, which is an eye, which I'm trying to find my thing so that I can what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I'll do it like this because there we go. So there it is. So I'll check y'all later. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have another hat finished to show you. And I guess I'll get my spinning wheel set up so I can start spinning again when I get up in the mornings. So y'all take care. Thank you for coming by again.